The last 2 days of practice, been very proud of our guys that came out and had great attitudes, and they were committed to getting better. And you know, that's hard to do in an off week for a lot of teams. So I thought that was a step moving forward. We've just been really working on our base offense, base defense, special teams, and just trying to get real good playing and a real good solid foundation moving forward for the rest of the year.
What stuck out now that you've had some chance to kind of go through some of that evaluation you were talking about?
Well, anytime you as a coach, you can remove yourself from game planning and everything that goes into leading up to a game week of an opponent, you can really focus on yourself. You know, you can really identify your strengths. You can identify areas that you need to improve on. And we've learned a lot about our team, you know, from a group, from an individual standpoint, on what we need to do moving forward.
What are some things you learned about your offense that you didn't necessarily expect?
I don't know if I'd say didn't expect, but you know, I feel like we can run the football effectively. You know, I think we can operate our base offense, you know, effectively moving forward. You know, we need some work on some of our timing throws and all that, but that's what really stands out to me.
How important is it the timings and with the throws?
Yeah, it's critical with what we do. I mean, our passing game is a time and passing game, and it's very critical.
You said that you see what you're good at, evaluate. Is those some of the things that you're good at? We talked about being able to run football. What other things are you guys good at right now?
Well, I mean, I don't want to incriminate, you know, us completely, but we have 4 or 5 things offensively that we feel like we're strong in. And, you know, to have a chance to be an effective offense, you've got to have strengths, and you've got to have things you're strong in, so other teams scheme it up and they give you other things and opens up everything. But the good thing is we do have some strengths at this point, and I think that's very important.
What are a few things you'd like the team to improve on over the course of this week and next?
Well, the main thing has just been getting better at what we do. I mean, just the execution part, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, about what we hang our hat on. And I like to call it our foundation plays on offense and our base foundation defensively, just showing all that, those type things.
4 games in, Coach, where are you at as a team defense?
We are in a situation where we feel like we have good information from a coach's standpoint. We have a chance to get better and improve, and I think most of our mistakes are correctable. And at the same time, we played a lot of young guys, you know, either because of injury or because of depth. And a lot of young guys have gotten their feet wet, and I got to believe that they'll improve, you know, throughout the season.
Is it where you thought you would be? I guess, did you ever?
You know, I really didn't know where, you know, going in. I had a lot of question marks of what our team was about. You know, my main thing was our guys playing together, playing hard, you know, doing what their coaches asked them to do and getting better. You know, the very first year when I said our goal was to get better each practice and each game, it sounded like coach speak, but it's so true with this team. So you know, I don't know really what my expectations were. I was just taking it week by week early.
Are you getting better?
We are getting better.
The Wildcat has been part of your offense for quite some time. You used it with Jonathan the first 2 weeks, Kyle the last 2. With mixed results, are there things that you've worked on this week to make that package more consistent and possible?
Yeah, you know, Wildcat to me, you know, there's a traditional Wildcat, which is unbalanced, overload, you know, with speed sweep. And then there's just certain plays that you put another guy in there for certain reasons. You know, we're definitely having a plan moving forward, you know, in that area. Wildcat has been a part of who we are and you know, what we do. But, you know, we do have a plan moving forward.
Let's talk about the tempo so far. Is it where you want it to be?
You know, at times it is. And I think you saw the other night, once we got our tempo going, we were a lot more effective. And, you know, moving forward, we have to have a lot more of that. You know, obviously, you got to get that initial first down. But I believe we'll have a chance to be a solid tempo team here the rest of the season.
How critical is that getting that first down?
That's very critical. Yeah.
So you can't force it the first 3 plays?
Well, I mean, you can, but you just got to see how the game unfolds. And, you know, you don't want to go a quick 3 and out a lot of times. It just depends on how the game's unfolded, you know, and with other offense and what our defense is doing.
Well, how much does being able to run the ball like you were able to in the second half the other night contribute to being able to get that tempo?
Yeah, when you get first downs, run the football, and you get your tempo going, a lot of our read stuff and the compliments off of it, you know, that's a big advantage for us.
Will a decision have to be made about Jeffrey Whitaker if he's going to play this year at some point?
We'll probably, in the near future, we'll talk through that. At this point, you know, things are still up in the air.
Reese just makes it look like play pretty well Saturday night.
Yeah, Reese is one of our leaders up front. You know, I really feel like for the most part our line did a solid job the other night. They've got 2 internal guys that are phenomenal, and you know, they did a very good job against a very good defensive front 7.
Was that Reese's best games this season?
I would probably say it is. Yeah, he did a very good job.
Guess also on the injury front is Jonathan Jones' status for the season. Is there any decision on that?
You know, this has been a week that, you know, everybody that's a little banged up. You know, we're just trying to get everybody healed up, and you know, as we get into next week, we'll have more answers about, you know, everyone.
When you look back at Nick, even though you said he didn't go through spring, when is he going to stop being a new quarterback? And when are you looking at for him to say, all right, that was your offense?
Well, you know, each week, you know, we feel like he's more comfortable in practice. That was his first road game, and you know, obviously we didn't get off to a good start, but settled down in the second half. And so, you know, we have an off week now. Next week will be another week of practice. You know, we feel like he'll get more comfortable, and I think there'll be a time in the season that, you know, we can say, hey, it's clicking, and he can just play football and not have to think. And hopefully that time will come sooner rather than later.
Does he ever struggle with staying locked in? And Brett said something on Sunday about when he's locked in, he's tough to beat. Does he struggle with maybe the consistency?
To tell you what, he's a very intelligent person, and what we ask our quarterback to do is more than most pre-snap. The fact that he didn't go through spring is, you know, for some of the things that he's able to do is really something. I mean, so in some ways he's met our expectations, you know, of what we need, but he's getting more comfortable, and I think that time will happen, and I think I won't have to say, I think you'll see it.
What do you mean by more comfortable? Like, what are you seeing specifically in practice from one week to the next, you know, that makes you feel like he's grasping everything better and better?
Yeah, when it's natural and he doesn't have to pause in between and think, it just comes natural with everything. And, you know, if you were the quarterback in our system, we'd put you out there and it would blow your mind what you have to do before the play's even snapped. And it just takes a while to process all that, and then you got to actually execute the play, and that's a feat within itself. So we're asking a lot of him, and like I said, this is our first quarterback to not go through spring, and in some ways he's done a phenomenal job. In other ways, there's certain things he needs to get better at, but you know, we're a work in progress, but we're going to get better, and he's going to get better.
Is that why he seemed more comfortable on that last drive against Mississippi State than probably any other time this year? Just had that opportunity?
You know, I think that may have something to do with it, but I think, you know, there's certain players that when the moment presents itself, they play their best. And, you know, I think he may be one of those players.
Gus, we hear each week, you know, kind of like your base expectation for improvement is to get better each practice and each game. Do you feel like that's been more difficult with the defense, considering how many injuries you've had to deal with?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they've been playing without a lot of our impact players. They've been having to mix and match some. Anytime that you do that, it's tough. But this is a week that we kind of slowed down and got back to basics, and there's no doubt in my mind we'll have a chance to improve each week defensively, you know, especially if we get some of our guys back.
What was the last time that you and Hugh Freeze were able to comfortably sit down and compare notes with each other with offenses like you guys used to do in the past?
You know, I don't know. I mean, we've had a relationship for a long time about talking football and ideas, and you know, last year we did quite a bit. You know, but now that we're in the same conference and all that, I mean, we don't get very specific anymore. You know, when it goes to X's and O's, but we know each other pretty good.
What do you guys talk about these days when you guys do talk?
He's a real good golfer. Talking about golf.
Is he better than you?
He plays more than me.
Did you ever try to bring Ryan into the staff? Apple?
We did talk. Ryan's going to be he'll be a big time college coach. And, you know, anytime you got successful quarterbacks, you know, that have been in your system, it's always a plus.
Guys, just watching the replay of the game, I can't see you from where we're sitting up there, but you get pretty animated in the games. Are you more animated now than you were maybe 15 years ago, or are you the same guy during the game?
I've always been pretty animated, and you may want to ask my wife.
With Jalen out, who are some of the guys you're looking?
Well, you know, Brandon Foles has also played that position, and we kind of mixed and matched this week, 2 or 3 guys. You know, we got some guys that can play multiple positions, that, you know, especially the guys that have been here before. So we're still working through that.
Can Melvin Ray be a guy that slides in there?
Mhm.
Can Melvin Ray play
Yeah,
that?
Melvin Ray's a possibility.
Gus, was that more with the 9s, the 2s, or what exactly was Jalen's spot at that point?
He was our 5.
But
Can you talk about how, with the defensive front, you've seen some of the older guys like D and them kind of mentor the younger guys?
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I've been very impressed with our leaders and our team, really trying to reach out to our young guys, not just on the defensive line, but in all positions. And, you know, not trying to intimidate them or anything, but trying to bring them along and really try to prepare those guys for, you know, the games and their position. It's been really nice.
You plan on Saturday watching the Ole Miss Bama game live, or do you like to be able to sit down, be able to look at it cut up and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be recruiting, but I like to watch it sitting down and studying it. I mean, on TV, there's not a whole lot you can see other than, you know.
Yes, I know, obviously you're offensive coach, but defensively, Coach Johnson's made a point about misassignments. How much does that kind of put more pressure on your offense to extend drives and that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, we've had missed assignments on offense too. I mean, it's across the board. I mean, it's the execution in all 3 areas have to improve, and we know that, and that's what we've really focused on this week. So it's not just defense.
Anything else? One more? A couple of the young defensive linemen, how they come along, Tyler Nero and Camille President.
Yeah, both those guys have done some good things at times, and you know, they're kind of going back and forth with Coach, you know, Garner, and sometimes their own scout team. So, but they'll give some depth.
Do you need it or not?
No, I was just gonna ask him to tell us the game plan for Ole Miss, so.
Thanks, I figured James would ask that.